What's going on, comic book collectors? Habemus Comics here. You're wondering, when did I subscribe to this guy? Well, I haven't made real videos consistently in a while, but I used to be known as Gotham Comics, and I'm actually making this video today for two reasons. The big one is that HeroHunter81 seems to be back. And HeroHunter81, many years ago, created the top 50 books tag. And so as a little bit of a celebration, I don't even know if he subscribed to me, but as a celebration, I wanted to do just my best books. And that kind of leads me into the second reason, which is that this winter is officially 10 years of seriously collecting vintage back issue comic books. So I wanted to go through my very best books here. And I would encourage all of you to show your best stuff too. It's just really cool to look back. It's going to be heavy on Spider-Man in some parts. I might mix in a couple stories on how I got these books and how I prioritize them. But yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's kick this off. I'd actually love to see what HeroHunter81 still has from his original collection. Anthony Reaper Tate is someone I spoke to somewhat recently. He shows his books all the time, so I don't know if he'll respond to this tag. Mike Vincrew, I'd be curious to see what's in his collection. Cougar Comics, he did a top 50 tag not too long ago, but I wonder how he would change it these days, or if he would change it at all. All right, let's get to it. First book is a great one, Action Comics 242. I bought this a few years ago. It was a CBCS slabbed 3.5, and I cracked it out. Always really liked this cover. I think the color marriage with that purple background and then the blue in Superman's suit and the green and pink on Brainiac is just really cool. Yeah, this is a tough book. I mean, everybody wants this book. Definitely one of the more sought after late Golden Age, early Silver Age Supermans. And I have more than 50 books, so I'm going to have to speed it up. This one is Batman 121, first appearance of Mr. Freeze, although in this particular issue, he's known as Mr. Zero. And that leads me to another Batman Silver Age, Batman 139, really nice, clean copy of the first Batgirl. Nice yellow cover, which I know Clint, HeroHunter81, likes. Now these books, like, you know, some of these keys kind of speak for themselves, but some of these I put in just because they're in really nice shape. And yeah, like the key speaks for itself, but I'm just really proud of the shape that it's into. And you know, I've culled my collection a lot, and I've really just kind of focused on super presentable mid-grade. Like I don't consider myself a high-grade collector. I'm definitely upgrading, or trying to upgrade all the time, but you know, presentable mid-grade is where it's at. Here's a New York Comic Con purchase from last year. Brave and the Bull 28, First Justice League 4.5. Yeah, I mean, another sought-after DC book. Not a whole lot to say. I mean, it kind of is what it is. Always interesting that Superman isn't on the cover. I prefer this book so much more to Avengers #1, which for some reason has always been kind of like a flat book for me. It would be cool to own it, but I think that book is really overvalued. But this, to me, is undervalued. I think the Justice League have a lot of room to grow. Not that it's about investment and selling and all that, but at a certain point, it almost has to be with the amount of money that these things cost. Green Lantern #7. First appearance of Sinestro. Green Lantern, arguably Green Lantern's greatest foe. And this is my second copy of this, Superboy 68, first Bizarro. That's a nice copy too. It was a COVID purchase, actually. This was before the prices went crazy. I bought this, and it seemed like a guy maybe had lost his job and he just needed money fast, because I paid $150 for this, and this is like a really solid mid-grade copy. And then another Comic-Con purchase from last year in New York, Space Adventures 33. Always really liked this cover. Tough book. Just gonna start. Ooh. Actually, I've never showed this on YouTube before. I don't think I've showed this anywhere. But Amazing Spider-Man #1. This is going to start a long, long run into Spider-Man. I actually cashed out a mutual fund to buy this. And it was worth it. I never thought I'd own a Spider-Man #1. It became my priority to get a 1 through 10 run of Spider-Man. And you'll see how I did. But I guess moral of the story here is, like, if you're a new collector, or if there is a character that you really care about, I would almost recommend just judiciously going after those sought after books. I'm not saying that if you're a Spider-Man fan, you should prioritize getting a Spider-Man #1. I think in some respects, the book kind of finds you. But when I first started collecting Spider-Man, I knew I wanted an early one, so I bought a really low-grade copy of #10 for $40, and then you'll see later I bought another one at a comic convention, and that was kind of my gateway drug. It like kind of showed me that it was okay to spend real money on these books, you know, as long as I was doing it responsibly. But it's like, I'd rather have 10 solid issues of Spider-Man than 2,000 books that are kind of meh. And so now my collection is super lean. So yeah, there's #1. This is my third copy of this. I've upgraded it twice. Amazing Spider-Man #2. I got this off of Instagram. Nice 5.0. Got some Marvel chipping, but I'm good with it. One thing about me is that, like, I kind of like the round numbers on the grades. I rather have a 9.0 than a 9.2 and a 9.4. That's just me being weird. But when I look at this, like, a 5.0 is pretty solid in an early Spider-Man like this. But I think, like, the next thing that I'd want to get in terms of grade would be like a 7. So go from 5 to 7. But who knows if that'll ever happen, because 7s are expensive. This is a book that I'm actively trying to upgrade. Amazing Spider-Man #3, First Dr. Octopus. And then I remember I bought this on Thanksgiving back in 2017 on Instagram. #4 for Sandman. This was a Christmas gift from my parents a few years back. #5, the Doom cover. Low grade, but I'll never sell that just because it's sentimental with my parents getting that. Just really nice of them to do that. And then here's the gateway drug book. The one that showed me that it was okay to spend real money on comics as long as you did it responsibly. I paid $210 for this at a Comic-Con. First Lizard. I would love to upgrade this. I don't know if I would sell it, though. It just, this particular book is sentimental. A filler early Spider-Man, #7, Second Vulture. And then I've always liked this cover because of the color, and I also think not the Awesome Android, the Living Brain is a cool villain, especially, you know, when you stack them up against the world of AI that we're living in now. Let me see, did I miss anything else? No other key there, just first appearance of Living Brain. And #9, another book that would be great to upgrade, First Electro, super busy cover. I would have been good if they just, like, didn't have this, cut back on some words. Everything else, actually, I think is pretty good. It's just really busy. Anthony Reaper Tate had a video about that recently, and he called out this cover, and I agree. This is my third copy of this as well. Nice, well-presenting mid-grade copy of The First Enforcers. If you want to get this book, this is probably one of the easier early Spider-Mans to get, certainly in the top 10. And just like that, you can see 1 through 10. Took me 10 years to do it. Took me less than 10 years to do it, but we did it. If you want to get this book, I would strongly recommend paying attention to this bottom left corner, because this L where it says learn is always cut off or worn out. This book is really tough to find with that L visible. So just something to bear in mind. Also, like, if you're going to get this book, it's such an insufferably bad cover. I really just want it for the run and because it's the first appearance of the Enforcers, but trust me, like, this book is very different as a high grade book versus a mid to low grade book. Because when it's low grade, it's just really ugly. And I've had 2 low grade copies of this. I'll just tell you right now, I have 17 of the first 20 Spider-Mans. This is Mysterio, number 13. Love this villain. Probably my favorite on the 90s TV series. And then we go into 14, which is, of course, Green Goblin himself. And nice copy of 15 as well. First Kraven the Hunter. And after Kraven the Hunter actually comes the annual, the Sinister Six. This needs an upgrade. It's got a dent on the spine and it's got a diagonal crease, but this is just fine for now. And we have number 16, signed by Stan Lee. I actually got that signed myself at Comic-Con several years back. Nice early Daredevil with the yellow costume. And, ooh, this is a semi-recent one as well. 18 First Ned Leeds. Yeah, nice higher mid-grade copy. New York Comic-Con trade-in last year. This is an upgrade. So another 5.0. I mean, I'm not happy with a 5. It presents nicely. I would really love to have a 7 of this. This book does get expensive because I think a lot of people like the Scorpion. I think there's a lot of nostalgia with the TV show from the 90s, but also there are a lot of really crappy versions of this book. What am I trying to say? Like most of these are. It's very hard to find a mid to high grade copy of this. Let's put it that way. They tend to be a little bit scarcer. There's just a lot of copies of this book with like heavy creases, staple pulls, like, and I know it's an old book. You could say that about pretty much anything, but I really notice it with this one. This is a tough one to upgrade, and like a 5.0, like I said, I'm not thrilled with it, but it presents well enough. Like, there's not really anything major wrong with it. Ooh, iconic Ditko book, the first Kingpin. Great cover. And are we done with? Yeah, we're done with Spider-Man. Okay, so there you go. Right. So, you know, there are some Spider-Man keys that I'm missing. There are some that I didn't show you, but look, I prioritize Spider-Man, and served me well, I think. This is my 3rd copy of this. Upgraded it twice as well. Daredevil number 1. Another busy cover. Like, I like everything that's not in a cutout box. But certainly a cool book. Really love the character. Probably my 2nd favorite Marvel character behind Spider-Man. The first version I got of this, the first copy I had was just like held together with tape, and it was a total beginner's copy. And I bought it right before the show came out. But I was able to upgrade it, and I got a Daredevil number 1. This would be nice to upgrade too, but it's not really a priority because I'm pretty happy with this. And Daredevil number 2. Not a ton to say about that one. It's just a nice presenting copy. If you can't afford a Daredevil number 1, I would strongly recommend getting a 7, because this is the first red costume. It's a really nice cover. It's affordable. I mean, I think you can get a nice version of this for around 200 to 250 bucks. Like, this book automatically levels up your collection. And the thing with Daredevil is, like, okay, there's number 1, there's 7, and then there's 131. And I can't think of too many other major books that, like, you need to make a good Daredevil run. Like, I think Daredevil is actually a good character to kind of start with if you're trying to dabble into collecting more expensive books, but you gotta like the character. And this is a poor man's Fantastic Four number 1. This is the first Fantastic car and the first time they're in the costumes. I will never part with this book. It's you know, mid to low grade, but it's got a date stamp here, which happens to be my mom's birthday. So I don't know if FF1 is in the cards, but when you don't have 1, it's nice to have 5. It was a total odyssey to get this book, man. Like, and this is a great example of a book that really climbed in value and then decreased, but is overall more expensive than it was when I first bought it. I think peak COVID, a 5.0 was selling for around, well, I don't even want to tell you what it was selling for, but I think the value is more than halved since COVID. But King of the Marvel Villains, this book would be fantastic regardless of you know, the Avengers movies. It's hard not to like and respect Dr. Doom. And I will say, for the purposes of the upcoming Avengers movie, this is 6, 4.5. I wish it was a 5. For the purposes of the Avengers movie, I could see a scenario where Namor turns on the Wakandans and sides with Doom. I don't think it'll happen right away, but I think it will happen. And that's what this book is about. It's the first Namor Dr. Doom team up. All right, let's we only have one more graded book, and it's going to come at the end. Let's just fly through some of these. I have a nice run of Fantastic Four as well. Here's number 7, First Kurgo. Number 8, First Alicia Masters and Puppet Master. That's a great book as well. Love that cover. This is a great one too. And there's a lot of books that I'm not showing. Like, you know, there's other stuff in my collection. I just I'm really trying to focus on, like, the keyest keys. 12, great Thing and Hulk cover. 13, First Watcher. Really love the Watcher and love that cover too. Nice high grade copy of the Awesome Android, number 15. Mad Thinker as well, I believe. It's his first appearance in there. Number 45, First Inhumans. Not the book it used to be, but this is another gateway book. When I first started collecting, I said, I'm going to collect every issue of Spider-Man. And then I kind of realized there's a lot more to comics than just Spider-Man. That was probably a year into collecting seriously. And I always liked this cover, and I think this is when Kirby starts to find his stride. And, you know, of course, there's 48. This is signed by Stan Lee on the splash page. It was graded by CBCS, but I cracked it out. And then 49, first full appearance. And then this was a birthday gift to myself a few years back. Maybe the best Silver Surfer cover. Really interesting use of color there with the brown background. And then 52, first appearance of the Black Panther, who is caped. He loses his cape soon after. My only Silver Age Hulk book, number 2, First Green Hulk, another poor man's first appearance of Hulk, but it's not really his first appearance, obviously. Okay, Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, number 1. I have so much love for this book. I don't think I can part with this one. My now wife, she went to a yoga session and came right back to my house afterward, and she realized that she like forgot some stuff at home. So I went to go pick up her stuff, and across the street from where she lived at the time was a church sale. And there was a guy there who happened to have like a box of comic books. It wasn't even like a long box. It was just like a random brown box. And I saw this at the top, and I freaked out. And I was like, "What do you want for the whole box?" And he said $100. So this is a low grade copy. It's got a pulled staple, but yeah, I mean, not gonna pass on Sergeant Fury #1. And there was really nothing else in the box. So Strange Adventures 205, I believe. This is a tough book to find in any grade that isn't low grade. So just happy about that. Dead Man is another cool character. Really sought after in higher grades, this book. And then I like Hawkeye. I know not everybody does, but I think he's a cool character. This is his first appearance. X-Men numero uno is what it is. Great book. I saw something recently that like this book is not, its value is kind of stagnant. I think actually that's always been the case. When I first started collecting, this was kind of an overlooked book. And I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is about the X-Men, if it's just really overdone, if it's a tired property, like are people even excited that Marvel has the X-Men? Are they hokey? I don't know. But I'm really grateful to have #4 as well, covered in date stamps and store stamps, but very glad to have the first appearance of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver and Toad. The book that started the Bronze Age, Green Lantern 76, probably one of my top 3 favorite covers, and this is signed by Neil Adams on the splash. And then House of Secrets 92, Bernie Wrightson art, and the first appearance of Swamp Thing. Beautiful cover. I like this cover. I'm not obsessed with it like everybody else, but it is objectively one of the best covers of all time. Silver Surfer #4. And then I think dollar for dollar in the Bronze Age, like this is probably one of the best books you can get just because of the number of first appearances. I didn't even realize it until HeroHunter81 showed it a few years ago. This is known as the first appearance of Drax and Thanos primarily, but the Blood Brothers make their first appearance. Kronos makes his first appearance. Star Fox makes his first appearance. I'm wondering if I'm missing anybody. Thanos, Drax, Star Fox, Blood Brothers, and Kronos. Yeah. So, I'm jealous of HeroHunter81's copy of this. This has got a loose centerfold. I would love a 7.0. That is a priority to upgrade for sure. Book that's taken a hit but is still well loved is Tomb of Dracula #10, the first Blade. And then we're actually getting out of the Bronze Age now for the most part. This is the last one. I actually don't really care about this book. Everyone made such a big deal out of Moon Knight, and then the show came out, and I'm like, this is the guy you were all hyped about? Like, granted, the show wasn't great. They really misused a great actor in Oscar Isaac. But it's just like, I don't know, left a lot to be desired. I think even with a good script, I don't really find him to be that impressive. I don't know. This was like all the rage, like 5-6 years ago. This used to be like more than $1,000. Now, like, not what it used to be. All right, let's get into some more modern stuff, actually. As far as variants go, probably one of the best covers, signed by Adam Hughes. Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes 23, the 1 in 10 variant. And speaking of variants, We do have a Malibu Sun 13, but what's cool about this is that it is the green era copy. I found that in a dollar bin a few years ago. Crazy. Dollar for dollar, probably one of my best finds. And now just two left. Another New York Comic Con purchase last year, Comico Primer 2. It was HeroHunter81 that introduced me to this book. First appearance of Grendel. And last but not least, I think this book is actually right up HeroHunter81's alley. This is the only copy I've ever seen with my own eyes. And very grateful to own it. I paid $30 for this. Nintendo Comic System Sneak Preview. First appearance of Zelda and Link. Debated first appearance of Super Mario. But this is a tough book to find. On the Recalled Comics website, I think they say I think it's like 500 copies of this. That could be wrong. I could be speaking completely out of turn. But 26 minutes, not bad. Hope you all enjoyed. Again, would love to see everybody else's books. And I hope you're all doing well. And if you've been in the U.S. going through the cold weather, hope you're staying warm. And hope 2026 is treating you well. Thanks a lot, everybody.